Me neither.
What are you in for?
Attention, everybody in the courtroom. Do we have all participants in any court case at this moment in time?
I believe there's one missing.
And who would that be, Mr. Jones?
It's the other Mr. Jones, Mr. Gator Jones. He's supposed to be fighting a case tonight, but he called me and informed me he would be late.
All right, I understand that. No, I'm talking about if there's a current case being seen tonight that all parties are currently here.
If that's Mud over there, then me and him are good to go. Assuming his attorney's here.
Yeah,
Mr.
I am
Jones,
my
is your attorney here? All right, then that answers that question.
Yeah, I got like 4 different cases I'm fighting tonight. It's terrible.
A long night for you, bud.
Shit, it's been a long month. I've been trying to fight some of these cases for a month now, and this fucked up court system kept, pushing the date back, It's bullshit.
Could be worse. Could be sitting in jail waiting for this.
Can you first tell me how to pronounce your
Dean
last
Gerald,
name?
welcome to the stream.
Cure. Okay. We do have Mr. Jones and Officer Cross here.
Yep, just the one.
Yes, Yana. All rise for the Honorable Judge Cure.
You all may be seated.
God damn it.
Mr. Jones, Mr. Cross, if you'd like to take your positions.
Joined your channel.
Oh, I think we're supposed to rise.
Sir, you can be seated now.
Huh?
Yeah, my muscle's not working.
I said you can sit down.
Okay. You don't need to yell.
Been able to rise for 20 years.
Mr. Cross, Mr. Jones, if you'd both raise your right hands for me.
Okay.
Do you gentlemen swear or affirm that the evidence and testimony you're about to give in this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, whatever.
Your Honor, are you happy?
Yes. Prosecution, are you ready to proceed with your case?
Here we go.
We're speaking of the case between the state of San Andreas versus Mudbone in regards to Pillbox and the possible abuse case.
Case number I've got before me is 20201228234. Going to be posted by Officer 121 Thomas Cross. Going to be for, it looks like, battery on a minor.
Yes, okay. So we're just going to go ahead. We're going to call the officer to the stand so that way he can give his testimony. Is Hayden or Caden in court today?
I don't see him.
Okay. All right. We'll just let you.
Oh, that might be him over there.
Oh, yeah, that might be. Who knows? Yeah, we're just going to call the law enforcement officer who was on scene and arrested and made the report to give his version of events, and then we're going to arrest and let the defendant go.
Officer, if you can take the chair on my left.
Yep.
Prosecution, you may approach to question. Hey, can someone have whoever that is? Shh. Okay, you may proceed.
All right, sir. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you to say what's in your police report or give give what exactly happened on that night or date in question from your police report in the arrest of Mr. Mudbone Jones.
Okay. My name is Officer Thomas Cross. I'm a sworn law enforcement officer in the city of Los Santos, state of San Andreas. On December 28th of 2020, I was called to the Mission Row police station on Center Street in regards to a kidnapping call. The reporting party was an individual by the name of Mudbone Jones. When I got there, he appeared to be agitated and angry. He told me that he had been charged with watching, babysitting a child by the name of Caden, and that, and that while he was watching the child, he took Caden to the dentist at Pillbox Medical Center. Apparently, according to Mr. Jones at that time, while there, Caden became lost. That's when my investigation began. My job was to try to track down Caden. I responded to Pillbox Medical Center, spoke with the staff there, as well as downloaded their internal closed circuit television film from the date and time, retrieved that, and heard over the radio that one of my colleagues had Caden and I believe it's his father, Mr. Carlos, back at Mission Row. I responded there and conducted an interview with both Caden and Carlos. There, Caden told me that at the hospital, Mr. Jones had, I believe, tackled him, had hit him, and had punched him multiple times. This was obviously alarming to me, concerning to me as someone who's charged with protecting. I went and I reviewed the controlled circuit television footage and determined that when I watched it, that it matched Caden's story, that the footage showed Mr. Jones punching this child multiple times. At that point, I issued a warrant for Mr. Jones's arrest, and he was arrested shortly thereafter.
Alrighty. Judge, at this time, I'd like to submit that CC. Sorry about that. I'll make sure that's silent next time. I'm going
Nintendo
to
playing,
submit
bitch.
the CCTV footage as evidence for the state.
Any objections to the CCTV footage being entered into evidence, Mr. Jones?
No objection, Your Honor.
Okay, so entered. Does that conclude your questioning for this officer?
Hold
Counsel?
on, we're gonna show this video. Sorry.
Oh.
We're gonna show this
Yes, the
video.
projector screen should be dropping down. There we go.
All right, so as you can see from this CCTV footage, you can clearly see defendant Mudbone Jones striking, or at least pushing the defendant down this hallway. Now, after that, they of course disappear out of camera, but I would also advise the court to understand that the victim had multiple.
I'm not fucked, okay? I'll get out of this. Watch.
And also the officer's sworn testimony.
Very well. Any
We
further
rest.
questions? You rest your case, or you are done questioning this particular witness?
We're done. We're done questioning this witness or the
Yeah.
officer.
Mr. Jones, you may approach and cross-examine.
Mr. Cross,
Yes, sir.
how in depth did you look at this video? This supposed CCTV?
I reviewed it thoroughly in order to determine that I saw you punch Mr. Caden.
So can you clearly see me punch the child, or do you see me simply reaching towards the child who then slips as he goes around the corner running away from me?
If you'll allow me to check my notes, I can confirm that.
Sure thing. By all means, check your notes.
What is
My-
that man doing?
My memory is that it clearly showed you punching him.
I object to that. The video simply shows me reaching towards the kid.
Well, we can rewind since we have the video here.
Yes, let's rewind the video, shall we? As you can see, the kid starts running down the hall towards wing A. As you can see here. And then there I am, chasing the kid. And as you can see right here, as he goes to turn to the main hall entrance doorway, I reach out to grab the kid, and he slips, busting his head on the wall before falling out of video frame. That is a reach, not a punch. Looks very similar, and at this point I question, what resolution is this CCTV camera?
Don't touch me.
Okay, Mr. Jones. That looks awfully like a punch to me.
Yes, Your Honor, I understand that that's what it looks like. But there is reasonable doubt here that I am grabbing the child and not punching the child.
Mr. Jones, do you have any further questions regarding this tape or for the officer?
No questions for the officer. However, I again point out, what resolution is this camera? What angle is this camera at? Because it certainly looks like to me that I am grabbing the child and not punching the child. And yeah, I'm gonna rest now. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Are we all here? Oh dear.
Am I back? Sorry, I've had a quick nap.
Yeah, so did I.
Hear me?
No, not
so did
really. Judge, can you hear me?
Judge,
Can you all hear me?
Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm so sorry. I felt for there. Just
Your Honor, you sound like you're talking through a fan to me.
We're gonna recess for a couple minutes until everyone records recess.
Terrible. Just terrible. Oh, man. Caught as in recess at this time.
User disconnected from
I'm
the
the mind that you're under oath. I don't know. They probably have me on this child abuse case. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to argue. Is that better, guys? Maybe it's better. I don't know.
Alright. I'm assuming you're talking to the judge. Sarge.
Sergeant's dead.
Sergeant Santos.
Whoa.
Oh, hey, you with us? Oh, just checking.
Hey, y'all, see Casey
He was
Lawman.
waving.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
Judge.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Young, please put your hand up so I can see where you at.
No, fine. Who we looking for?
Well, very well. Let's get this case back underway. Were you were finished questioning the officer, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, I was finished questioning the officer again. You know, I remind everybody that we're all under oath here, so the truth is very important.
Yeah, Your Honor.
I'm just Mr. Jones did ask us what resolution the video is, so I'm just trying to get
Okay,
that
yeah.
info for him.
I was just gonna tell you that the prosecution is gonna rest at this time.
Mr. Jones, to answer your question, 480p.
So the video is very grainy and small and tiny.
Mudbone, you know what you did.
Mr.
Objection!
Attorney.
Yep, sorry.
I will not be spoken down to by a man who's supposed to be the DA and represent the state.
Okay. Counselor, stop doing that. It's not nice.
10-4.
At this point, I've just got to point out once again the resolution of this video, 480p, ladies and gentlemen, 480p.
Do we have the victim here to testify by any chance?
The victim's underage. Victim should not testify.
Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
Counselor, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna object or do whatever I had to do.
Okay,
Just 'cause you're
objection
underage
sustained.
doesn't mean you can't
Objection!
Oh, sorry, my
Objection!
language.
On what grounds?
Children can be manipulated very easily, and I would
So can
prefer
adults.
adults less so. Okay.
Okay. Objection overruled.
Either way, I don't think he's here to testify, Your Honor.
Is there a Caden DeGrasso in the courtroom? Oh, he's raising his hand in the back.
Oh, well, yeah. In fact, I retract my prosecution arrest and want to call DeGrasso, Caden.
Mr. DeGrasso, go ahead and approach the bench. Deputy, do you mind swearing in the young man before he sits down?
Shit.
Absolutely.
We're fucked now. I'm with you, Ricky, now. Yeah,
Mr.
we're
DeGrasso.
fucked now. There's no way this ends well.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the evidence and testimony you're about to give to this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Acceptable, Your Honor?
Yes, I do have some questions. Go ahead and sit down, young man, to make sure you're capable of understanding what you're about to do.
Okay.
Do you know the difference between a truth and a lie, young man?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you need to tell the truth today?
Yeah.
Do you understand what happens if you
He's a
do lie?
fucking DeGrasso. He doesn't know how to tell the truth.
Yeah.
He knows how to
Do you
snitch,
understand
though.
the difference between right and wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go ahead and sit down, young man. Okay, Mr. I'm sorry, Counselor, I didn't get your name that's representing the state.
My name is John James McCoy, but a lot of people call me Jack.
Okay, Counselor McCoy, you can approach.
Hey, Mr. DeGrasse, how you doing?
I do believe so, Your Honor.
Is there someone smoking in my courtroom?
What?
Mr. Spectre, there is no smoking in the courtroom.
It's all right. It's all right.
You know what, sir? That's contempt. $500 citation.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I really need
Deputy,
to get my cursing under
escort him out, fine him, and then bring him back in.
Sable.
All right. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Spectre, with me.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. McCoy, you may continue.
Out the door, sir.
All right, thank you,
Oh,
Your
shit.
Honor. All right, I apologize. What's your name? Caden?
Down this way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Caden. All right. Caden, if you would do me a favor and just tell the judge what exactly happened on the night in question where Mr. Jones allegedly assaulted you.
He was looking after me because my dad had to go to work, so he left me with him.
Objection.
And
Carlos
he,
DeGrasse has never worked a day in his life.
He started asking me if I wanted to sell some of his flour, which I then said cocaine, and he said, "Damn, you're smart." And then he went up
Shit,
to
this
the Yellow
gets
Jack,
worse.
and I think he sold some of it. And then a cop came and he spoke to a cop about something. And then he went and took me down the pillbox where he saw my dentist and ran away like a child. So I just did the same thing. And I got in front of him and he punched me and I hit my head on the wall.
Okay. Any other questions, counselor?
At this time, no. So he struck you, which caused you to hit the wall, and you don't remember anything after that?
Not really.
So he hit you so hard that you hit the wall so hard and violently that you
Fuck
lost
you.
consciousness technically.
You. God damn it.
Yeah, I think my dad has the medical record or something.
Fuck your dad.
What-
I'll
whatever
kill his
it's
ass
called.
when I get out of here.
Alrighty. Yeah, no further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, do you have any questions for the witness?
Oh, you bet I do.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you may approach.
So, you say that I violently punched you and you fell into the wall. I don't argue that you fell into the wall. But were you looking back when you felt this supposed punch? Or could it have been a grab that felt like a punch, huh?
It felt like a closed wrist or hand.
So a grab can feel like a closed fist because my hand is curled as I'm reaching for the collar of his t-shirt as I'm reaching out to grab him, ladies and gentlemen. That is why it felt like a punch.
Are you testifying
I'm
or
also
asking a
pretty
question?
sure you kicked me after and I was on the floor as well.
So you say that I kicked you. The camera doesn't say that I kicked you.
Objection, they were out of frame. Like, yeah, the camera technically doesn't say that he kicked him, but
I don't get what you're objecting to. He just reiterated something that was in the video, so
I know.
overturned.
I just
Overruled.
yeah, whatever.
Did you just whatever me?
No, I'm whatever.
Contempt of court. Contempt.
Contempt!
Objection.
Well,
he can't decide that for me. Only you can.
obviously.
So let's look, can you run that story by me once again, Kaden? What happened after you felt the supposed punch?
User disconnected from your channel.
I hit my head on the wall and don't really remember much.
Okay, so okay.
I mean, I woke up with
No, let's hang
a
on now.
stalk
You
in my
done said that
face.
you don't remember anything, so how do you remember these events? If you hit your head so violently that you no longer remember these events, how are you remembering these events now? No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, any further questions for this witness?
Your Honor, if you could just give me a couple of minutes to look something up real quick. I may have one more question. If not, then we're just going to rest.
Okay.
User
Left
joined your
him
channel.
speechless. You see that? I'm a great lawyer. I should do this more often. I should just continue getting into shit just to come argue it. I guess we're in recess again.
All right,
while
yeah, Your
fucking
Honor,
gray
we're
hairs
just going
gets
to
his
have
ass.
to. The prosecution's going to rest right now.
Okay, Mr. DeGrasso, you can return to the gallery. Okay, I will, court's going to be in recess for about 2 minutes while I deliberate.
Okay, cool.
Too old for recess.
God damn it, man. Want to get the hell out of here.
When's bingo start?
Great job, Jack.
Oh my God.
Dear God.
You're making a fool of yourself, Jack.
Okay, okay.
Hey, take it easy there, guys.
Break
Man,
it
I
up.
seen the rug was curled up.
I wanna press charges.
Mr. McCoy,
That's
back to
assault.
your side,
Holy
please.
shit, Hot Wheels just hit a fucking cop.
sorry.
My wheelchair wasn't that strong.
Okay,
Seems like
I'm
a
ready.
busy night tonight.
Yes.
This is
All
gonna sound.
rise for the honorable
It's kind of
Judge
hard to
Curie.
deliberate
I've
with
been
a
able to do
possible
that 20
deal
years.
when there's a cop standing here.
Great
Hi,
arguing, Jack.
that man
Great
fell out of a
arguing.
wheelchair over there.
Everyone back in your seats.
Can we quit
Lady
causing,
flopping
like,
on the floor back into your wheelchair, please.
scenes during court? Your
Ma'am,
Honor, I
do
think
you
all of
need
these
some
people
help?
should be held in contempt.
I'm about ready to start doling out contempt citations.
Yeah. Like, court is supposed to be serious.
Well, upon deliberation of the evidence and the testimony provided in court today, I find there to be reasonable. Believe the people have proved beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Jones did commit battery on one Mr.
God damn
Caden DeGrasso. I find the defendant guilty.
Bitch. Okay, Your Honor. That's fine.
Did you just call me a?
No, I said son of a bitch under my breath, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, you do have one more matter before this court before I pass sentencing on you. Would you prefer to be sentenced for this case now or at the conclusion of your other case?
Well, I believe I have 2 other cases that I'm fighting.
Okay, we'll pass sentencing for this one. Hold on one
Yes.
second while I look up the punishment for this case.
We're going to prison. We're going to prison. Shit. Ah. God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Okay, Mr. Jones, you can either serve 6 months in the county jail or a fine of $10,000.
I will be paying the fine or the bail, Your Honor.
Deputy Sable, if you'd issue the fine.
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Jones, if you could step over here for me, please, sir.
It's felony battery. And I don't see the point of appealing it.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, it looks like the charges are already on your record, Mr. Jones. So,
Fuck me.
on to the next case regarding Mr. Jones.
It's the next one. Yeah. The next one.
If we could we? I'm not sure of the I wasn't given an incident or a report number, but apparently, go ahead.
There's one on file for the one where he was charged by Sergeant Les Santos and recruit Shane Tierney.
Okay. Yeah, I don't mind doing that. But there's a third case, and this particular one isn't on the docket. Apparently, the state or charges were entered against him in a stabbing. I just wanted to say, as the state, we never received a police report on that. The victim, quote, ain't no snitch. And the only other possible eyewitness we have to this crime is a felon and has many, many felonies on his record. We were never able to recover the assault weapon. We did recover a weapon, but forensic analysis.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I believe you're asking for a motion to dismiss.
Yeah, basically, we're going to dismiss
Granted.
this case. I just wanted to explain why we were dismissing it.
It's at the pleasure of the state, sir.
Okay, yeah. Well, then we will dismiss that case.
Okay, the case is dismissed.
That's one down.
Now on to the next matter, which will be the trespassing while armed.
Alrighty. So some new evidence. We may have to approach, Your Honor.
Approach.
Uh-oh. What is this?
Yes, Counselor.
Okay. So we were originally possibly going to make a deal with Mudbone to drop this case, but some new evidence has come in over the past few minutes, and the arresting officer or one of the arresting officers wants to testify in this matter. I just found out about it myself just a couple of minutes ago, so I wasn't able to advise. I don't know if there needs to be continuance on this or whatever.
Are you ready to proceed, Counselor?
Who, me?
Both of you.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I just want to make sure the
Then we can
defendant has
continue.
enough time. Okay.
Let me
Alrighty, at this time, Your Honor, the prosecution would like to call Sergeant Les Santos to the stand.
Oh, good.
Sergeant Santos, if you would.
Yes, Your Honor.
Deputy, when he sits down, swear him in.
Sergeant Santos, will you raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the evidence and testimony you're about to give this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Acceptable, Your Honor?
I find it acceptable. Prosecution, you may begin your questioning.
All right, Sergeant Santos, if you could do me the favor of just explaining kind of what happened on the night in question that Mr. Mudbone Jones was arrested for the charge that he's said to have committed.
Certainly. On the evening of the 9th of December, 2020, myself, recruit Shane Tierney, and field training officer David Thompson were booking a subject for an unrelated offense, subject who was an associate of Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones arrived at Mission Row Police Department where we were booking the suspect, intending on paying that suspect's bail. During the process of us booking said subject, myself and field training officer Thompson were in the cell area with the other person, and recruit Tierney went back to the reception area to ascertain whether or not Mr. Jones was going to be paying the bail of the man in the cells. That was what the man in the cell was saying. So we sent the recruit upstairs to double check. When he went up there, Mr. Jones obtained access to the cell area and started to come down. The recruit was chasing him. So I went out into the hallway. We stopped Mr. Jones, and myself and the recruit took him back up to the reception area. I said to him, "No, you can't be down here. Go back upstairs." We took him back up to the reception area. He was not charged at that time.
Objection.
We removed him.
On what grounds?
Was never told not to go back down now. I don't remember being told not to go back down there.
Sergeant Santos?
I did not say he was not told not to go back down there. He was told that he couldn't be down there.
Continue.
That's my judgment, but overruled. Continue, Sergeant Santos.
Okay. Mr. Jones was not charged on the first occasion of coming down to the cell area. We just escorted him back to the reception area. Myself and the recruit then returned to the cell area, and when it was time to have Mr. Jones pay the bail for the man in the cells, recruit Tierney went back up to the reception area and attempted to get this payment, at which time Mr. Jones once again came down through to the cell area. Once again, there was a commotion, so I came out, and to prevent Mr. Jones from reaching the cell area, I deployed a taser, and Mr. Jones was arrested for trespassing. It was not until Recruit Tierney searched him, we decided to let him do the processing since he was on his field training. So he searched the suspect and found a knife. So therefore, the original charge of trespass was upgraded to trespassing while armed. Mr. Jones maintains that he didn't know that he couldn't be in the cell area, so it can't be considered trespass. I would argue, and it is in my report, that as a former police officer, Mr. Jones knows that he shouldn't be in the cell area.
On what grounds?
My former career path is irrelevant due to the situation at hand.
Objection.
Okay.
That can't possibly be true. Given his former career, he knows the policies of the Los Santos Police Department.
Irrelevant, going on signs in the building itself. No trespassing signs no trespassing signs were posted.
I'm going to side with the prosecution on this one, Mr. Jones.
As a citizen,
Mr. Jones, my ruling is final.
Oh, well, okay. Fuck your ruling. Fuck you.
Mr. Jones, the next time you drop an F-bomb in my courtroom, it's going to be $1,000 fine.
Yes, Your Honor.
He's a bum.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get. I need to argue my side.
Okay.
Goddammit.
Sergeant Santos, continue.
Yes, Your Honor. As I explained, I believe that due to Mr. Jones's former employment as a Los Santos police officer, that he should be aware and would be aware that there should not be people in that cell area who were not taken there by a police officer or who are a police officer. If I could just refer to my notes here.
Very well.
He also should be aware, based on the fact that those doors that you need to pass through to access the cell area, those are locked doors that are only openable by a person with a key card, which Mr. Jones does not have. So I would argue that that also indicates that he shouldn't be in that area. And yet twice he obtained access through dishonesty.
On what grounds?
The doors were unlocked by the recruit. Or were left unlocked by the recruit.
Were the doors locked at the time you went to escort Mr. Jones out, Sergeant?
Would you mind clarifying the question, Your Honor?
Okay, Mr. Jones went through doors. If they were locked, how did he get through them?
Yes. Yes.
So they were unlocked.
What?
Essentially, Your Honor, the doors were locked at all times, except for when the recruit was unlocking them to go into the reception area to speak to Mr. Jones, and Mr. Jones took both of those opportunities to run through the doors.
On what grounds?
The doors were never relocked after the recruit came out.
So you know they were able to be locked.
Any door is able to be locked.
Okay.
Okay, Sergeant Santos, continue.
Okay.
User joined
So,
your channel.
basing my decision on the fact that he was a former police officer who knows he shouldn't be down there. Those doors are locked and accessible only by people with a key card, which he was not. The fact that he dishonestly obtained access to those areas twice, and coupled with the fact that he was once prior removed from.
On what grounds?
Sergeant Santos is throwing my character under the bus by calling me dishonest.
I would object that it's relevant to the case character.
If I can clarify, Your Honor, I'm not actually calling the defendant's character into question. I'm just calling the methods in which he got access to that area into question.
I can agree with the sergeant. He was talking about your methodology,
Damn
not
it.
you yourself.
Nothing's working. Oh, shit.
Thank you. The final point in my decision was that he had already once been removed less than 10 minutes before by myself and the recruit from that area, in which I did say, you cannot be down here, and then still chose to gain access to the area a second time. So I felt at that point that with all 4 of those pieces of information, it should have been perfectly clear to the defendant that he shouldn't be in that area, and I felt that charging him with trespass was appropriate. The charge of trespassing while armed didn't occur until the recruit searched him and found the knife.
Objection.
On what grounds?
Shouldn't have been charged for being armed given the knife was never presented.
Did you have a knife on your person?
Had a knife on my person. It was a pocket knife. Never brought out a pocket.
We'll get to that. We'll let you present your case in a minute, Mr. Jones. Let the prosecution finish.
I'm just gonna keep fucking with him.
Go ahead.
I don't know how the no court works.
All I have on my report, Your Honor. That's why we determined to charge Mr. Jones with trespassing. Is we deemed that he should have been well aware certainly by this time he accessed the area a second time that he shouldn't have been there, and therefore that he should be charged with trespass.
Okay, but he was never formally given an order not to be there before he went in, correct?
He was told that he can't be in that area, Your Honor.
Did he re-enter the area after that?
Yes, the first time he came down, I told him, you can't be here, go back upstairs. And then he came down a second time, at which point he was charged with trespass.
Okay, I think I understand now.
Let me get on his ass.
Okay.
Let me get on that
Counselor,
ass.
do you have any further questions?
I don't have any further questions for the sergeant, but I do have a statement for the court or a motion for the court. I just want to let Sergeant Santos know that I respect him and the job that he does, and he does it very well. But overviewing this case that I've looked over, Mr. Jones does have a decent point as it pertains to the weapon. Don't get me wrong, he was technically armed, but given the fact that he never pulled it, I don't think he had any ill will intent. Much like, somebody, walking into a Walmart with a knife on them, like a pocket knife or whatever, sometimes you forget, or sometimes even if you don't forget, you have no ill will intent. But I do agree with definitely the trespass charge, but maybe just downgrading it to simple trespass and not trespass while armed.
Knives aren't allowed in a jail by civilians.
So, are you wanting to drop the charges completely, or change, or amend the charge?
We want to amend the charge to just simple trespass.
To simple trespass or to aggravated trespass?
Just simple trespass. What's aggravated trespass? Doesn't that involve injury?
Oh wait.
No, that aggravated. Aggravated doesn't necessarily include injury, but it does include littering and other things, which don't really fit this. So simple trespass, correct?
Oh God. Let me get up. I want to fucking.
Yeah, we just
want
want to downgrade to simple trespass.
Okay, so trespassing within an occupied structure, or trespassing while on property.
Because I 100% think that Mudbone know what he did.
Okay,
and
Mr.
as
Jones,
Mr.
Mr. Jones, any objection to the charge being amended to 810.09 trespass on property other than structure or conveyance in the first, which is a first-degree misdemeanor?
No objection to downgrading the charge, Your Honor, but I'd still like to argue my case.
Okay. Mr. Jones, you may approach and cross-examine.
Yeah, we're resting.
Go rest, gray hair.
Mr. Jones, I've given you a lot of latitude tonight.
Me and Mr. Jack here, we have an ongoing mutual relationship outside of this courtroom, Your Honor.
I don't care about your personal life. You respect my courtroom.
User joined your channel.
Sergeant Santos.
Yes.
Okay, there you are. Great. So, I don't disagree that I was told I couldn't be down there at the time whenever the first warning was given. At the time, can you, without a doubt, say that you told me explicitly I couldn't be down there and you did not add well at the time to your statement?
I told you you couldn't be down there. There was no at the time.
See, because I seem to recall there being, you can't be down here at the time.
Then I believe you recall incorrectly, sir.
Okay. Moving on to the locked doors. This is true. As a former LSPD officer, I did know the policies at the time I was employed. However, policies change. So, the policy could have been changed whenever Chief Slewinski took over. God knows the department has seen many changes since Chief Slewinski took over, but that is neither here nor there. The door was left unlocked by Sergeant Santos's recruit the first time. Also, there is
Sir,
no...
Are you testifying or asking a question?
Making a statement. Can I not do that?
You have to ask questions first, and then you get to make a statement after you
Oh,
ask your
okay.
questions.
Sorry, I'm new at this. Sergeant Santos, how many years have you been employed with LSPD?
23.
23. So, I guess that you've been to Mission Row many, many times during those 23 years, yes?
Yes.
Okay. At any point on the lobby double doors that go downstairs, is there a sign that says no trespassing, employees only, or authorized personnel only?
No, I don't believe there is.
Okay. Any more questions?
Mr. Jones, would you like to make your statement now?
Sergeant Santos, did I ever pull the knife out on you?
No, you did not.
Did I try to hide the knife from you when you asked me if I had a weapon on me?
I didn't ask you if you had a weapon on you.
I did not try to hide the knife. I told you that I had the knife. I told your
Mr.
recruit
Jones.
that I had a knife.
Mr. Jones, in the interest of saving you from talking yourself into more trouble.
Objection, Your Honor. This is my
Prosecution
pony to
has
ride. Let me
already-
ride it.
Prosecution's already dropped the armed portion of this.
Okay. Well, I have no more questions for Sergeant Santos.
You're on a redirect real quick.
Oh, God.
Sure, you can approach and redirect.
Sergeant Santos, how long was, in your best estimate, Mudbone Jones a member of the Los Santos Police Department?
30 years.
In my best estimate, 20 plus years.
Okay. When did he retire? in your best estimate?
Approximately 3 months ago, something like that.
Okay. So he retired 3 months ago. When exactly, or in your tenure working at the Los Santos Police Department, have they ever changed their policy on those two double doors being locked and unauthorized? I understand there's no sign there, but have they ever changed their policy on those doors being locked whenever there was not an officer going through them?
Objection.
No, that's always been a cell area.
Okay.
On what grounds are you objecting, counsel?
On the grounds that I did not work for LSPD at the time the new administration took over, therefore policies could have
That
changed.
wasn't his question. Objection overruled.
God damn it.
So from the time Mudbone Jones worked for the LSPD until now, those doors have
Son of
always
a-
been supposed to be locked unless an officer was going through them.
That's correct, sir. Yes.
Okay. Now, yes, Your Honor, I understand that does not mean that those doors were locked at the time, and that does not mean that the signs were not there and available, but it does point to the fact that Mudbone Jones should have known the LSPD policy that nobody other than officers were supposed to go through that door. We rest.
Okay. Mr. Jones, any further questions for this witness?
No further questions. Thank you,
Okay,
Sergeant
you can go ahead
Santos.
and make your statement now if you'd like.
Okay, so I'd like to make a statement regarding the locked doors. When the probationary officer came out of the locked doors the first time, he neglected to lock them and left them unopened and stepped away from the doors. At that time, given there's no signs, no trespassing sign, no employees only sign, no authorized personnel sign anywhere near the double doors or on the other side, as a citizen, not as an LSPD officer, I did not see any problem going down there, given that I was bailing somebody out who was in a holding cell. Upon going down there, yes, Sergeant Santos escorted me back out, and he told me that I could not be down there at this time. He did not tell me that I couldn't be down there, period. Upon the probationary officer coming back up the stairs for the second time and telling me that I could post bail now, I took it that given that he had yet again left these doors unlocked and that he had told me that I could post bail now, that meant that I was free to go down there. Clearly, that was not the case. So, my arguments here, there's no trespassing signs. I had reason to believe that I was allowed to be down there the second time based on the statements made by the probationary officer.
Can I object? Is that how this works?
Only counsel can object, sir.
Okay.
Objection.
I object to his presence.
Oh,
I have no further thanks, Your Honor.
okay.
Your
I
Honor, the
give up.
prosecution thinks it's made the best case that it can. We
I
have no
tried.
further,
Yeah.
I
comments,
fucking
concerns.
tried.
Okay. I don't know where to begin for both sides on this.
Drop the case. That
I'll
would
just
be
take
where
it
to
piece by
begin.
piece while I talk this over with all of you. Okay, did Mr. Jones enter a secure area without permission? Yes. Was he told he wasn't allowed to be down there? Yes. Was he made to go back upstairs? Yes. Did he still come back in anyway? Yes. However, had the probationary officer come in and told him he could post bail now, and then did Mr. Mudbones come back down there after the probationary officer left the door unlocked, which could
Oh,
lead
wait.
someone
Did I do this?
reasonable to believe they've got permission to go down there now that they've said, hey, you can post bail, walk through a set of doors and doesn't lock them, even though it's a secure area. With that, I believe the state has failed to meet its burden of
Oh,
beyond a
yes!
reasonable doubt.
Fucking yes!
And I find the defendant not guilty.
Yeah.
Cool story, bro.
Did you just say that in my courtroom again?
What? Yeah.
You didn't hear
I
that.
paid a fine.
For which one of you?
I don't know. We both in contempt.
Yeah.
Shit.
Which one of your 3 cases that you are a criminal in did you
Counsel?
pay?
I was
Sorry,
going to
I'll
pay a
shut up.
contempt fine, Your Honor, because I figured you was going to throw contempt at my ass. Oh,
I
sorry,
was
Your
about
Honor.
to throw it out. Well, okay, That's $500 for you, Mr. Jones.
Throw it at me. I'll
Mr.
leave.
Jones, come over here, please, sir.
Are you gonna
What?
prosecution?
I didn't say nothing.
Throw
Sorry.
it at me, I'll
Sorry.
leave.
Your Honor, if I may.
I don't think so.
Oopsie.
I don't remember those words coming out of my mouth.
Self-defense. Caught on camera.
You may
That
want
was
to...
a twitch.
Stop fighting!
Stop fighting. That was an accident. Walk away.
Yeah, well, him doing that was not an accident.
Your Honor, if I may remind you, you said
Can
the
I
next
help?
time you were holding
Scumbag.
Mr. Jones in contempt, it was going to be $1,000 fine, not $500.
Oh, that's right. Thank you. It's $1,000 actually, Deputy.
Oh, I
I
can't
don't
believe
wanna
I
help
won
her.
that. I wish I would have won that.
She's okay. She's just doing some yoga to stretch out her back.
I'm not a doctor.
She's taking a nap.
I need to be
Now I
more
need to get my
professional.
hat.
Is it nap
Yes,
time?
yes, you do.
Shush.
I'm sorry. I can't help but laugh at funny things.
Did you catch that $1,000?
I do have a request, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Your prosecuting attorney needs to go to the bathroom.
Oh, that's right. It's $1,000.
Okay,
Give me a second.
Court's in recess for 3 minutes.
Thank you.
God damn, I need a cigarette.
This is gonna sound like a dumb question, but
There
what's
you
the
go.
recess?
Oh dear God.
Might you just
Thank
push
you,
me
Mr.
into the chair?
Jones. Next time we'll go to
Deputy
the
Lawson.
boxing match.
Exactly.
Excuse me, sir.
Your Honor, am I
Which
dismissed?
deputy's here? Mr. Jones, do you have any further business pending before this court?
No, Your Honor, I've paid all of my fines.
Mr. Jones, you are free to go with the court's gratitude for appearing today.
When's bingo start?
What?
I don't know about no marijuana, but I'll pull out a cigarette.
God, I love the F-Fish, man. It just looks mean.